do want to ask you about, though, and this seems to be the 49ers topic of the last 72 hours, really,
Right.
since the announcement came that Justin Skule and Tarvarious Moore suffered season-ending injuries. Do you think this team is doing enough to fix the injury issue or address it?
Ben, I want to normalize in this space not having answers and saying, I don't have a good answer for you. And I don't. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm not a strength and conditioning coach. I have no idea what goes into practices. I will say this. With Kyle Shanahan, with these questions, like we just talked about before, about, all right, so right now, minicamp is closed because they're being docked that for rookies or the development program. These injuries, the coach has to speak about that. The coach has to have good answers. And for me, if this wasn't an issue, I'm going to point to two things on how this organization views this. One, they fired the entire strength and conditioning coaches from last year. So clearly, they think it's an issue. Also, after the draft, when everyone complained about 2 running backs, O-linemen, Kyle Shanahan came out and said, we can't have what happened last year happen again. So injuries are on this team's mind, on this organization's mind. So at the end of the day, I don't know how to do that. Are they doing enough? I don't know, because I'm not a strength coach. I don't know about, I've talked to some people. It was great to see Croc and Will Blackman and those guys talk about it. That was amazing. Anybody who hasn't checked it out.
Excellent interview. Go check that out if you haven't already.
I implore you to go check that out. Talk to a few other people who have played the game, are really touched in. Some people brought up the point of sometimes when you have bad motion lifting weights in your legs, then that can lead to things down the line because you've already been putting your knees under stress, your legs under stress, things like that. So when you try to make a move, all of a sudden something pops. Now, I don't know the correlation between that, but that's just what I heard. Again, I'm not here to speculate. I'm not even here to give you a BS answer when it comes to that. What I will tell you is this. As the head coach, Kyle Shanahan has to have answers. That's really what it's about. When it's going well, you get all the praise. When it's not going well, you got to be able to stand there and give answers. So for him to say it's a part of the game, it is. For 49er fans, it is very, very reasonable for you to be concerned because of what's happened with this team, not just last year and the year before that, because in 2019, they had a rash of injuries. The only reason that wasn't talked about as much is because those names didn't include Nick Bosa, Jimmy Garoppolo, Raheem Mostert, any of those guys. So, yes, you had. Yeah.
I was just going to say the only guy I can even think of, just with you mentioning that, George Kittle, he's pretty much the only major Niner who missed time that year at all, right?
In 2019. Yeah, so it's one thing to count the bodies. So when people say, well, they had 19 people on IR, well, who are those people? They weren't the cornerstone people. You fast forward to 2020, every single, if it's not the cornerstone, it's the guy right under him and then the guy right under him. So that's the sort of thing that happens. So clearly it's on this organization's mind. I can't tell you what they can do because I don't know. But I know that the coach has to definitely stand there and give reasonable answers and find a way to make this stop happening because you're the end all be all. When things are going right, you're going to get all the praise. When it's not, then you've got to figure out something. You're the leader. So I don't know, but I know that it's on this organization's mind based on their actions.